Hello, Paul Pluta channel. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about my channel. Don't forget to look in the description for 10 ways you can help me stay full-time on YouTube. And today's question is, this is a paid question. Zenith Daytona movement versus Daytona in-house movement. Hi Arch, I hope you are well. I came across your YouTube videos a few months ago whilst I was doing some research and immediately got hooked. Keep up the good work. My fiance was generous enough to buy me a Rolex Daytona 116520 stainless steel white dial as an engagement gift. A watch that I've coveted for years. I've reached out to you today because I'd like your opinion on something I've come across online and have also discussed with others previously, and that is the Daytona movement, is the Zenith Daytona movement versus the in-house Rolex Daytona movement. What I've noticed is usually it's a 50-50 preference. Some people prefer the Zenith movement because they believe it to be superior and more accurate, while others have said the in-house movement is superior because Rolex have taken the Zenith and basically made their own modifications to improve the piece. I've sent you $20 because I know you don't do shit for free. I'd like the honest opinion from the Pontiff, the governor's governor. Can you give me your opinion on the Zenith movement, pros and cons versus the in-house? Is one better than the other? What are your thoughts? Happy for you to send me an email or do a video. I'll leave it to you. Perhaps a video to mix up between your watch collection reviews. Thank you. Regards, Alex. Okay, that's a great question. What is the answer there? And I gotta tell you the truth there. I gotta tell you the truth. In all honesty, I think both are pretty good stuff. Pretty good movements. You've got the Daytona, the Zenith Daytona movement, and you've got the Rolex in-house movement. And I gotta be completely honest with you, I don't think one is necessarily bad or better. I think, you know, it's one of these things. So many people put too much effort into this type of question. And I mean, the funny thing is, it's strange thing is, if we look at the older Daytonas, the very valuable, you know, the 70s, 80s, the plastic glass Daytonas, the 4-digit reference number Daytonas. And a lot of them had a Valjoux 727 movement. That's a Valjoux, that's like an ETA type movement. And they would have to be the most valuable Daytonas of all time. So that's a Zenith. That's a Valjoux movement. Similar type of movement as the 7750, the Valjoux movement. Now, that Valjoux movement is a manual wind, and then Rolex changed the model in the 80s to the they went to the Zenith Daytona movement. And Zenith is a really top-end name for chronographs. And Zenith itself is a bit of a it's a brand which it's kind of similar to Jaeger-LeCoultre in the sense that not only are they a respected watchmaker, but they also used to specialize in selling movements to other companies. And this is an interesting thing because before the snobbery of in-house was so important, a lot of makers, it wasn't so bad to use someone else's movement in your watch. It wasn't a bad, terrible thing to do. A lot of makers did it. Who did it? Well, let me tell you this. Patek Philippe, Vacheron and Constantin, Audemars Piguet, they've all used movements by other makers. In fact, if you have a look at the some of the ultra-thin movements, 50s, 60s, they were from Jaeger-LeCoultre. Now, admittedly, Vacheron, AP, and Patek then hand-finished them and improved them, but the basis came from that company. And Zenith has done the same thing. Zenith is a company which has a long history of making movements and supplying them to other manufacturers. Now, the thing is this. What do I think is the better piece? Look, there are so many choices that are coming up here. I mean, the latest choice is, do you go on the steel Daytonas? Do you go ceramic bezel or steel bezel? Which one's better investment? And I gotta tell you, in all honesty, the answer is pretty similar. The plastic ones, you know, the Halcyon crystal like the Speedies has still, those old sports watches like your Submariner, plastic 1680, 5513, no date sub, 1675 GMT, your 62, 6265, 6239, all those plastic Daytonas with value movements, manual wind movements, very, very, very valuable. And I got to tell you, I personally, what's my own opinion there? Look, I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really, really matters at all. And it's one of these questions. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Zenith movement. And there's certainly nothing wrong with the in-house movement there. Some people prefer certain ones, the enthusiasts like one or the other, but over time, the Daytona stays very, very strong. It is an incredibly strong watch. Funnily, in the 70s, the Daytona wasn't that popular. This is when you could get a plastic Daytona, the 4-digit reference number. That's the one to have. And that's got a Valjoux 727 movement in it. That's the one to have. That's worth a fortune. They are worth an absolute mozza. So, in my opinion there, I would really say to you, look, this is kind of the same type of question that comes up. Now the question is, do you go for ceramic bezel? What is the better one? What's this and that? And I mean, in all honesty, I think the Daytonas themselves there are a really cool watch. They are a fantastic watch to have. You're a lucky man. Man, you got a fiance who bought you a fucking Daytona, steel Daytona. Man, that is hard. I haven't had women buy anything of value for me like that. That's for sure. So my advice really would be to enjoy what you've got. You got a great watch there. I would keep that forever. That's a fucking amazing. It's an amazing present for someone to just give you. You know, that's pretty damn cool. So, in my opinion, there, I think they're all cool. They're all cool. You know, some people are really, you know, the thing is, the older ones tend to be more valuable. Okay, because they don't make any more. Any anomaly really makes a difference with Rolex. And I mean, the other thing I wanted to add is that Patek Philippe, they used to use, for a long time, they used Lemania. If you look at some of the catalogs from the 90s, Nouvelle Lemania. That was for the perpetual calendar chronograph. It came from Lemania. And see, they were another maker who made movements for other people. So, look, what's my view on it? Look, in all honesty, all Rolex Daytonas are fucking cool. Very, very cool. I think for collectability-wise, probably the Zenith one is the one to go for. I mean, if you know, I mean, that's probably a little bit more collectible. But I mean, fuck, doesn't matter. All of these Daytonas, now they're saying, Oh, the non-ceramic ones, that they got to rise in price. The ceramic ones are at a ridiculous price. So to answer the question, the pros and the cons there, man, I would be happy to have any Daytona. I don't think it matters which one you have there at all. Look, they are a highly, highly respected watch. The values of these pieces, they are a great watch. And I mean, for you to get a Daytona, steel Daytona, fuck, this is like a movie. It's like a movie, man. What sort of, I don't know who fucking gives these things away. That's a fucking cool gift. It's a cool gift. So, you know, I don't think it really matters there. They are both very, I think the Daytona is cool. Any movement Daytona is cool. So I hope you understand what I'm saying there. It's like some of the Tudors. They got the Tudors, which has got the ETA movements in them, and then they got the in-house when they switch some of the Black Bays. And probably the ETA ones will be worth more because they're not making any more. But I mean, you got to remember this with watch collecting. You got to enjoy the hobby for yourself. It's not about sensible investments. These are something to enjoy. And I mean, the fact that your fiance gave you a steel Daytona, fuck, that's the one to have. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you think of that on the Paul Pluta channel.
We specialize in the repair of Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. We've been doing the same thing for more than 25 years. We have Rolex technicians certified by Rolex who actually used to work for the company for many years, like if we do in the work on the factory. We completely disassemble the watch and we put it to work like brand new condition. When you get a pre-owned watch, it's like if you're getting a brand new unit. The only difference is the money.